beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mansa, and I'm back on your screen like I never left. In today's recipe, I will be showing you how I make my delicious low-fat ground turkey spaghetti sauce. Yes, guys, I've been getting a lot of suggestions to make some healthier choices as far as cooking. So this is what I got for you today. Let's get started. So I always like to start off by making my spaghetti. So I have here some hot boiling water. In here, I'm gonna throw in my spaghetti. And I believe most of us know how to make spaghetti already. Now you have the option to cut it or not. Today I just choose not to cut it. If I'm making it for the kids, for the most part, I would cut it just to make my life easier. Now, I remember growing up, my mom would always throw some oil in the water while boiling it. This will help it from sticking together. It's a good old trick that always works. I always like to throw some salt at this point, even though I'm going to rinse it. Let's just keep watching. I don't like my spaghetti sticking together at all. So I'm going to cover it up to boil and cook. In the meantime, guys, I have something really exciting. My website, MansaQueen.com, is now live. Yay! We now do have a blog. So all my recipes will be housed on this website, MansaQueen.com. The link will always be in the description box. I have already categorized the recipes in different sections to make your life easier. Also, please do sign up for the mailing list to keep yourself updated whenever I have a new blog. I do plan on posting website exclusive content. So it's going to be content or recipes that I have not posted on YouTube or Instagram. Is going to be on here. So go ahead and check your girl out. Feel free to send it to your friends and family. And of course, you have the option to download and print my recipes, which a lot of you would really appreciate. So please do check that out. So of course, we're going to need some ground turkey for our recipe. I pick ground turkey because it is a lower fat option, and my kids are also allergic to beef, and I get a lot of requests from people to talk to me about their allergies or people who are just simply looking for healthier options in their diet, and I really want to be there for all of you. So this is a good option for y'all. So now here you would also need lots of tomato sauce. Now I like this particular container because when you have leftovers, you could just screw it back on. I get it from Walmart. And of course, you would need some crushed tomatoes. Now I didn't have any crushed tomatoes in my pantry, but I had diced tomatoes and it worked perfectly. I would link my can opener in the description box. Also, I also get a lot of questions about it, so I would link it in the description box below if you would want to check it out. So, of course, spaghetti sauce requires a whole lot of spaghetti. I mean, a whole lot of tomatoes. So, I also used just about 1 to 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. I don't like a lot of tomato paste because it adds a whole lot of concentration to my sauce. So, these are the three options you would need, and all the ingredients will be listed in the description box below. In the meantime, I'm checking back on my spaghetti and it's just about done. I like to just try to break up a piece, and if I'm able to break it up with my nails, then I'm done with that. You just want an al dente texture. That means it's not overcooked, it's just right. So that's just all I go for, and once I get that, I cut off the fire. I'm just going to turn it off. Now this step is really important to me. It's really important to getting rid of all that excess starch in this and all the oil that we added in there. So I like to pour it into a strainer and run some cold water over it. This will help stop the cooking process for one. And the second reason why I do this is to rinse off all that excess fat. If you leave it in that water, it's going to get all mushy and sticky, and I just absolutely dislike sticky spaghetti. So I rinse it off thoroughly in here. So this gets rid of everything that was in there. And trust me, your spaghetti is never going to stick. It would not stick at all. So now, when I get to this stage, if I'm putting my spaghetti back into the sauce, I would just leave it as is. But if I'm going to serve it separate, like just when I'm plating it, I'm just going to put the spaghetti and put the sauce over it. I will go ahead and add some butter, which I will get to in a second. But for now, I'm going to start off with my sauce. Now, I pick olive oil because it is heart healthy and it is a better option. If you can also use avocado oil, I don't really quite like it, but I can do with olive oil. So I'm just went with a little bit of olive oil because we know that turkey is lean, and I also even picked a leaner option, so it really does not have much fat in it. So that olive oil will help it to get to that browning process that we need ground turkey to get to. So I just put it in my saucepan and I just keep stirring it. And you also want to let it start browning up a little bit. So it's been a few minutes, and as you can see, my turkey is browning up a little bit. So now I add in my onions. This is just a white onions. You could use any onions of your choice. I also like to add some crushed red bell peppers. Now I do prep these myself. I would link the short video in the description box below. And this is about 2 red bell peppers. Of course, you're gonna need some garlic. Here, I think I crushed about 5 cloves of garlic. I love garlic in my recipes. I gotta have it. I do not play with my garlic. Now, guys, the reason why I like to use this crushed bell peppers, it helps me, it prevents me from using too much tomatoes. Now, a lot of tomatoes gets really acidic and it's not good for everybody. Like my sister cannot handle all that in her diet. So this is a good option to cut down on those tomatoes. Now it's time to add the diced tomatoes or crushed tomatoes or whatever option you are using. And I'm also adding my tomato sauce. Lots and lots of tomato sauce, of course. So sometimes I would even put way less tomatoes and just bump up that crushed peppers. And here I have my tomato sauce, I mean my tomato paste going in. Now, like I said, this is a concentrate, so it makes it the everything really thick. So here I am. Now, if you're thinking, why did I not skim off any excess fat? There was no excess fat to skim off. But of course, if you're using ground beef or any other meat option that has more fat than turkey, you definitely do want to skim off that excess fat. It is not healthy for you. And now I'm also going to add in some finely diced yellow bell peppers. These bell peppers to me just elevate it. If you have never used any bell peppers in your tomato sauce or in your spaghetti sauce, you are missing out. There's just this complexly rich flavor that it gives, and also even the color. Sometimes I don't even use tomatoes in my stuff. I just use the peppers. Now for flavor, I really like this better than bouillon flavors. I got the chicken, so you can use the chicken option if you want more flavor. You can also use the beef base, which is delicious, or the vegetable base. So there's so many options. I get all of this from Walmart. So today I'm just go ahead and use the beef options because I just wanted something different. Since I'm using turkey, it would just help to add the extra flavor that somebody will be thinking, what is that? And mind you, that thing is really salty. And of course, I'm going in with some dried thyme, some crushed rosemary as well, and some paprika. It will enhance the color in here, and some chili powder. Just add as much as you can tolerate. I would list what I use, but it will be up to you to tweak the recipe as far as your spices to what you like. I cannot tell you how much spice you should put in your food. That is very personal, and it's a call that you should make yourself. This recipe is supposed to be a guide. All right. So now this is what it's looking like, guys. This looks so good and it tastes so delicious. We are not done yet. See that tomato, that acidity is still really high. We need to let this cook down. But for now, I need to add some black pepper. I cannot finish this off without some good old black pepper, especially these fresh peppercorns. They are super delicious, but you can use any ground pepper you have. White pepper will also work, or some hot chili, anything spicy that you can tolerate, you can add it, and it's going to be really delicious. Now, once I get that all incorporated, I'm going to cover this and let it simmer on low to medium heat for at least 15 minutes. You want that tomato acidity to cook off a little bit. So now here it's been about 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add my Worcestershire sauce. This sauce is a must-have for all my spaghetti sauces and most of my sauces. It is delicious. It has a complex taste, and it gives a hint of sweetness. And y'all know sweetness and acidity, they go well together because it helps cut down some of that sour taste from the tomatoes as well. So I put that in there and I cover it up and let it continue cooking down for another 10 to 15 minutes. Now, this is my spaghetti. This is the spaghetti that I had just washed and everything. And as you can see, it's been setting and it's still not sticking. So I always like to go in and add some butter. I'm going in with salted butter because, as you know, I already rinsed this, so there's no butter. There's no salt on here. So I add that butter and just leave it on the fire on low heat, and just let the butter do its thing. And as you can see, it would even make it even more stand out and not stick together and add so much flavor. Y'all know Kerrygold is the bomb. So now, can you see them bubbles? Look at my spaghetti sauce. It does look so delicious. Oh, it is so beautiful. I love it. Right now I have cut down the heat to really low, and it is just simmering. The acidity has gone down quite a bit. You do not want to eat tomatoes. You do not want to eat spaghetti sauce and feel like you're just eating raw tomatoes. I cannot handle all of that. So cooking it and letting it simmer for that period of time helps to cut down a lot of that acidity, which is really important. So as you can see, it is just simmering on very low heat, and it is done. Now, if you're somebody that adds your spaghetti into the sauce, this is the time for you to adjust all your spices. Make sure that everything is on point, and go ahead and add your spaghetti in here. That is what I usually do, but for the purpose of this recipe, I'm not going to do this today. So I'm just going to cut it off, and we could go ahead and plate this beautiful baby up. Guys, if you are enjoying this video, please go ahead and give your girl a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And also feel free to share with your friends and family. Tell them about Mansa, tell them about Mansa Queen and all the good stuff that we have going on out here. So now this is my sauce. It was just done. And as you can see, it is nice and piping hot. Our spaghetti is not sticking at all, which is so important to me. I know I've repeated it so many times, but I love it. Now we're going to finish it off with some parsley because I did not have any fresh basil, so I just went it with some parsley. If you don't want that, you can just go ahead and chop it up really finely, and that is it. That is it. If you choose to sprinkle some grated Parmesan on it, go ahead and do that and just enjoy. You can see it is piping hot. It was delicious. The kids had this for dinner. So I hope you get to try this recipe. If you're looking for a lower fat option, you can also follow the same recipe and change the meat to ground beef or any meat of your choice. It would work perfectly. Just remember to skim off any excess fat before adding in your sauces. It is so important. And also, I would leave the link to the printable recipe on the website in the description box below. That way it will be yours to print and to keep. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.